Power BI is one of the most in-demand data skills right now. It is used by thousands of companies from startups to Fortune 500 organizations. If I had to start learning Power BI again in 2026 with zero skills, I would not waste time on things that don't matter. In this video, I'll walk you through the exact roadmap I would follow to learn Power BI fast and build skills that actually get you hired. My name is Ashish. I have around 8 years of experience working with Power BI. I have built dashboards for real businesses. This channel has over 21,000 subscribers focused purely on Power BI. Everything I'm sharing here comes from the real project experience. Every company asks the same questions: which products are underperforming? Where are we losing the money? What changed compared to the last month? Power BI answers these questions by turning raw data into clear, decision ready dashboards. The first step would be learning the right way. Stop watching random tutorials. If I had to start again, I would follow a structured learning path instead of jumping between videos. First of all, I would focus on understanding the basic concepts like tables and relationships. How does the relationships connect one table with another? Kinds of relationships. Then you should focus on schema. There are different kinds of schemas. Power BI is optimized for star schemas. Star schemas are the schemas where the fact table is connected to the dimension tables with one-to-many relationships. So first, I would focus on understanding tables and relationships and not visual. Then, I would learn Power Query basics. Here, I would learn how to clean and shape the data properly. For example, handling null values, adding the correct data types for a particular column. Only after that, I would start building simple visuals. If your foundation is weak, everything else breaks later. I partnered with Datacamp to give you a high-level overview to get started with Power BI. I have personally used Datacamp while learning and refining my skills because the learning is structured, hands on, and focused on actually doing and not just watching videos. Once you sign into Datacamp, you can come to this Learn page, and inside this Learn page, you will see the skill track. And here, if I search for Power BI, this Power BI fundamentals track is ideal for beginners. It walks you through connecting and cleaning data, building dashboards, and practicing with real data sets through hands on exercises directly in the browser. You don't have to worry about any Power BI setup. You can directly practice in the browser itself. Once you're done with this Power BI fundamentals, you can go to this career track. And inside this career tracks, you will find this data analyst in Power BI. Now, if you want to take your skills further and become job ready, this data analyst in Power BI track focuses on data modeling, business case studies, and real world scenarios. The skills companies actually looking for. And here is the most important part. Datacamp partners directly with Microsoft. So when you complete the track, you get 50% off for the official Microsoft Power BI Data Analyst certification exam. So you're not just learning Power BI, you are building practical experience and working towards an industry recognized certification. You'll find the links to both the tracks in the description as well as in the pinned comments below. If you want to become an expert in Power BI, data modeling is a skill which can separate you from the average Power BI developers. I'm going to show you 20% of the Power BI data modeling topics that can help you learn data modeling and solve 80% of the problem. First, what are dimension and fact tables? The fact tables contain numeric data, the price data, the quantity data, and the day-to-day transaction data. Dimension data are usually descriptive data and used to filter the data model. Product table, customer table, geography table, date table. These are dimension tables. These are also called the information table. So if I show you here, we have an orders table, which is a fact table, and we have a date and people table. These two are dimension tables. So you should have the knowledge of these two first, and then you should know the star schema. Star schema is a visual representation of the table designed like this. The fact table in the center is connected with the dimension tables. This takes the shape of a star. That's why it's known as star schema. Next is relationship properties. This connection is called relationship. Now there can be different kinds of relationships. The cardinality of the relationships can be different. It can be one to many and many to many. So if you see here, this is one and this star is denoted as many. So you should make sure that your relationship between the dimension and fact table is one to many. Now direction, single versus both. The dimension table filters the fact table. So filters flows in this direction. This should ideally be a single direction. If you make it both, then the order tables can also filter the dimension table. This should not be the case and we should avoid this thing. Now active versus inactive. Between any two tables in Power BI data model, we can create only one active relationship. And if I try to create a different relationship, it will create an inactive relationship. The next is create a date table to avoid auto date time. So when you create a data model for any report, you should consider creating a date table. So you can create a date table like this. You should create a date table because if you don't create a date table in your Power BI model, Power BI will automatically create multiple date tables in your data model. For each date column present in your dimension tables internally, avoid bidirectional relationships because it can cost you performance of your dashboard and it can mess up the data model. If you make this direction to both, then the first table can filter the second table and this second table can also filter the first table. And if these two are fact table, then there will be a heavy load if you have a huge data in these fact tables. That can drastically slow down your Power BI reports. Next, if you're starting with DAX, you should not miss these 20 DAX functions. Calculate is the most important DAX function, and then we have filter table function. Then you have the all families. All basically removes the filter context from a column or from a table. And then we have time intelligence functions. There are many other functions. I use these most of the times. Related is one of the most important. Use relationship will be used in a role-playing dimension table. Then we have aggregate function. We have sum, count, distant count, count rows. Then we have selected value. To create the dynamic charts, dynamic titles, selected value will be playing an important role. Finally, to create a fast and optimized report, keep your model size as low as possible. Generally, when you start to create a Power BI report, you will notice buffering report. If you just keep these three things in your mind, your data model will be fast and optimized. Bring the required columns only. So when you're creating a report, suppose if I go to transform data, I have this order table and we have these many columns. Suppose I don't want all the columns for my report. I just want 3 or 4 columns only. So what we can do is click on this choose columns and we can deselect all and just keep only those columns that are required in the report. That way we will reduce the model size. Next, filter the table, keep only required rows as and where possible. Suppose I want only the order dates that are in the last 1 year. So for that I can add a filter from here and it will reduce the table size. And this can keep your reports light and fast. Next, if your report shows monthly data, don't bring daily data, aggregate the data wherever possible. Sometimes when you just want the monthly data, in that case it is better to just have the monthly data and not have the daily data unnecessarily. If you just keep these three things in mind, your reports will be faster than ever. So the step 3 would be creating multiple projects and working on different scenario based questions. So at this stage, you will be taking a problem statement and you will be solving it with the help of dashboards. So you can create projects in different domains like sales domain, retail domain. You can create different sales dashboards. You can create KPIs. You can create heat map. You can create n number of scenario based questions which will be solving stakeholders' problems. And at this stage, the only thing you'll have to do is treat every project like it's for real stakeholder. Projects matter more than certificates because this is what hiring managers look at. The final step would be storytelling and presentation. So after you have worked on data cleaning, data modeling, creating DAX measures, creating simple visuals, then you can focus on the storytelling part. In the storytelling, remove anything that doesn't add value. Extra grid lines, unnecessary labels, too many colors, all of that creates noise and kills the story. Formatting is not about making the report look fancy, it's about guiding the viewer's eyes. That's why numbers are formatted consistently. Spacing is even and colors are used with intention. For example, green for positive impact and red for negative impact. Once the dashboard is clean, storytelling becomes easy. You can start with the KPIs at the top to give a quick summary. Then you move to trends to explain changes over time. After that, you focus on drivers like products or regions. And finally, you look at the segmentation to decide where to act. While presentation, never read charts or numbers. Translate visuals into business insight. Power BI is not about building dashboards, it's about making complex data simple, clear, and actionable. So if I had to learn Power BI again in 2026, this is exactly how I would do it. I would follow a structured learning path instead of random tutorials. I would focus heavily on data modeling, DAX, and business logic. I would build real projects, not just certificates. And I would learn storytelling and presentation so my dashboards actually drive decisions. Power BI rewards people who think like analysts and not like tool operators. If you want to learn Power BI fast and build skills that actually get you hired, stop chasing shortcuts and start building the right way.